Hey, what's going on, guys? Brian from Zombie Guitar here. Here in this video, I just want to talk about an interesting phenomenon that is pretty unique to the electric guitar, and that is that only about 50%, if not less, of the perception of how good other people think you are actually comes down to your playing ability. So I'm not saying to, don't practice. I'm not saying that playing ability isn't important. It absolutely is. 100% is. But there's so much other stuff that contributes to, how good people think you are. And all that stuff is external factors that take place after the sound leaves your guitar. So if you think of your favorite guitar player, you think of him or her on stage playing a solo, thousands of people cheering for them, thousands of watts of, being played through thousands of watts through a sound system, lights, amazing band behind them, backing them up. That solo is going to sound amazing. The perception that you have of that person is going to sound, there's so much going into the perception of that person playing that solo. If you take all of those other external factors away and you just have that person playing an unplugged electric guitar and they play the exact same solo, it's not saying that they're any less of a player, but the perception that you have of that particular solo is going to be much different than it would be to the on-stage version. So in order to demonstrate this phenomenon, I put together this quick video where I simply recorded myself playing a solo one time. I only recorded the solo one time, and I'm going to add layers, and each layer is an external factor that has nothing to do with what I played, has nothing to do with my skill, but each of these external factors, each of these additional layers is going to improve the perception of how good the solo actually sounds. So the very first layer is just the guitar going into the computer, completely unprocessed, no amp tone to it whatsoever, no effects. It's as close as you're going to get to just an unplugged electric guitar. So let's hear how that sounds. So that was the solo by itself. That was the raw version of the solo, the direct signal. Now I'm going to add amp simulation to it. So let's hear how that sounds. So as you can hear, it already sounds much, much better. That is equivalent to me plugging my guitar into an amp. It would be the same thing as you plugging your guitar into an amp, and then all of a sudden, everything you play starts to sound that much better. So that's the first layer that I'm adding, or I guess you could say that's the second layer to this overall perception. So now I'm going to go and I'm going to add some reverb and delay. So you can see right there that the tone is even sounding better now. So the whole idea behind reverb and delay is to make your guitar sound like it is being played in like a larger room or a larger hall or something like that, with echoes and stuff like that. It makes the sound bigger. So reverb and delay can be accomplished in a bunch of different ways. I did it through my computer using my digital audio workstation. You can do the same thing using reverb and delay pedals, or if you're playing in a band and you have a sound guy and you're playing through a system, the sound guy can add reverb and delay on the soundboard. It doesn't really matter how those effects are added. The fact of the matter is they are external factors that are contributing to the perception of how good what you're playing sounds. So that's the third layer. The fourth layer, I'm going to now add a rhythm guitar section to it. So just by adding that rhythm section to it, the solo now starts to come to life a little bit more. It's not just a scale pattern. It's not just notes. It's now starting to sound like music because it is harmonizing with the underlying rhythm. That's the whole idea behind harmony. There's a melody line, and then there's, the rhythm chords that the melody line harmonizes with. So as the lead guitar player, I was technically playing the melody line, and then the rhythm section was playing the harmony chords, and it was all going together to make music. Again, external factors, I didn't change what I played. The external factors are making the solo sound better. So the fifth part, I'm now going to add the full band. And there you have it. There was the fifth layer that was with the full band, and at that point the solo seemed to just fit into the music. The perception of that solo was much, much, much better than from the first layer of the video, which was just the completely dry signal going into the computer. So, what I want you to take from this video is I want you to understand that the perception that other people are going to have of you comes down to a lot more than just your playing ability. Again, that does not mean you shouldn't strive to be the best player that you can. You absolutely should. But you definitely should not ignore all of those other factors. All of those other factors are very, very, very important. Many mediocre guitar players have become rock stars simply by, taking this whole idea and running with it. All right. So effects, amp tones, the way you dress, the way your stage presence, the sound system that you're playing through, the sound guy that's running the sound system, all of these things are things that need to be considered to your overall perception. So just something to think about. Short little video. Hope you guys liked it. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.